it's a privilege and an honor, really, to have you here doing this interview with Cinezine.net. Appreciate you taking the time. Welcome to Nashville. I think it's worth asking, you know, what Nashville means to you, especially since, you know, you started with these punk rock roots. I mean, not like those have disappeared. I don't think it's evident that they have, but you know, your music's kind of country tinged, or you know, to a degree. You know, so what has Nashville and country music in general meant to you as a musician?
I mean, you know, growing up, Hot Water, like we never played that many shows in this area. You know, here and there, and you know, but for me, like the style of music that's been born and bred around this area has been in my family for generations. You know, I mean, I grew up in an old-fashioned, simple Southern Baptist household, and there was nothing but a lot of gospel, some bluegrass. On my mom's side of the family, they're all Cajun folks, so there's a lot of Cajun music in Zydeco. And you know, every time I have the opportunity to come here, I mean, I really enjoy it. I mean, you know, there's just a massive amount of respect that I have for all these people that work so hard and are just so pro, and some of them get heard, and unfortunately some of them never get the recognition that they deserve. You know, I mean, this place is just chock full of so many amazing musicians and just unbelievable talent, and you know, it's been a breeding ground for that for years. And you know, to have this opportunity, you know, to come here, and this is my first time playing the Ragan, and I'm pretty beside myself about it, man, to say the least.
What made you kind of go backwards 5 years ago or so and tap into that stuff that you grew up on?
You know, to be honest, I mean, for a lot of people, I guess that kind of grew up following Hot Water music, they don't know. I mean, like we were doing a lot of this kind of music, you know, 15 years ago. I mean, I think it's just all progressed. And back then, Hot Water music was always the main focus. So I never focused on it. I mean, they were just porch songs to us, sitting around the fire and playing music and doing our thing. And you know, when Hot Water music went on a hiatus, you know, I mean, those boys started doing the draft, and I just went back to work, got back into my trade, and I never stopped writing songs, you know. So, I mean, to me personally, it's really not that much anything different than, you know, what I've been doing for years. You know, even when I got into punk rock, like as a kid, you know, I got into it from skateboarding. But you know, there was all these kind of other, you know, people and bands that somehow bridged the gap of the two for me. You know, I had an old buddy who used to build, you know, his dad used to build our skateboard ramps, and his favorite band was Creedence Clearwater Revival. And so, you know, he would let us, you know, put our tapes on the box, you know, to play the music we wanted to play. And you know, every once in a while he'd say, all right, that's enough of that, you know, that crazy music. I'm going to put on my music. So he would put on his music, but he kept building, we kept skating, and for some reason, like, you know, it was just like that music, that soundtrack would just go from, you know, Bad Brains to Germs to Creedence Clearwater Revival to Jim Croce to old Metallica, I don't know, and it just all made sense. Like, it was just seamless, and I don't know, it kind of always was like that. But I mean, for me, you know, I played one of my first acoustic solo shows when I was around 17 or 18 years old, and you know, I'm 36 now. So. And I mean, I just didn't focus on it as much back then, but I never stopped doing it. You know? And even a lot of the early Hot Water music stuff, we all lived in apartment complexes, and we weren't really able to, you know, plug in. So we wrote a lot of it on acoustic. You know.
Yeah. It just hard to listen to that story and then listening to other things you know, in other interviews you've said that the community, the music community, and the collaborations you've kind of brought yourself into or stumbled upon even have really meant a lot to you. And you've even spoken about that being kind of like the beautiful thing that comes out of the music. Even though music is beautiful, it's this huge community. So I'm kind of curious, all these years later, like in retrospect, you've done all these collaborations, you've worked with tons of people. In terms of the community and working with people, what do you think your mark has been? I mean, you think you've left a big mark on the scene you're a part of?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, to me, I just try and do my part, you know? I mean, I feel like, I definitely feel really blessed and humbled when folks have come up and have said, you know, the music that I've had a part of has either changed their lives or kept them alive or inspired them to pick up a guitar themselves. And man, I mean, it's absolutely amazing. It's overwhelming and, you know, completely flattering. And, you know, I don't take that for granted. But at the same time, I mean, like, I feel like, you know, to me, I don't feel like I'm any different than, you know, anybody else that's out there doing it, that has done it for years. You know, I grew up listening to bands that inspired me and, you know, charged me up to go pick up a guitar and write a song. So at the end of the day, I mean, I just, you know, I feel like I'm just a piece of the puzzle, just like anybody else.
Well, through all that, and you know, you've done the makeups and the breakups of Hot Water Music and side projects and this, and obviously a lot of people have influenced you and made you pick up a guitar, made you change a chord, do something a little bit differently. What keeps the fire lit right now for you to keep creating and keep doing new things?
And all these people that I surround myself with, and you know, I mean, on top of them all is my wife Jill. I mean, like, she's been just, you know, the driving force and my inspiration, the rock behind everything I do. You know, I mean, like, you know, one day I just kind of woke up and, you know, I mean, we're musicians, man, all of us. We've done everything from, you know, wash dishes to dig ditches to framing houses to finish carpentry to, you know, cooking burgers and, you know, working in garages, detailing cars, you name it. I mean, we've all done every job that everybody could ever do, you know, in trade to do what we love to do. And, you know, I mean, you know, for years, you make a lot of sacrifices doing it. You have to constantly reevaluate why you're doing it in the first place. And over the course of time, I mean, one day I just woke up and said, man, I mean, like, this is what I do. I'm a career musician, you know, even though for years, for a long time, I kind of fought against it and just, you know, thought I just don't want to be a band guy or play in a band. You know, I want to have a family, and I want to, and you know, over time I've just realized, like, this is just something that I'm meant to do, I'm drawn to do, I have a passion for it, and to me it's just like a therapy, and I need to do it, I have to do it, and you know, in that time I realized that, you know, all right, if that's the case, then I have a rough responsibility to my loved ones and, you know, my family, and I need to constantly strive to, you know, hang on to that balance, to do what I love to do, hang on to the passion and the reason why I started doing it in the first place, but at the same time be responsible and, you know, do my damnedest to make a living for my family and you know, always try and stay true to, you know, knowing the difference between the two of them.
Yeah. How did that affect your music? I mean, that's kind of like an epiphany in terms of your whole career. I mean, how did that had to have changed your music's your number one output, your outlet. It had to have affected that to a degree.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe it did. Like, I mean, to me, like, honestly, like, I just feel like songwriting to me, like I said, has always been a therapy. It's something, you know, something that, you know, I always felt like I needed to do. So, I mean, doing that, I don't know, man. I never really thought of it in that aspect. I mean, I write songs just to help myself take that next step forward. You know, if I got something weighing heavy, or I got a tune in my head or a melody on my mind, you know, I need to get it out. I need to get those words out. I need to tell that story. I need to just cut loose and let it go. Just open up and well and just holler it out. And I feel like once I do that, and then recording's a big part of it too, to me. And like whether people hear it or not, I mean, I record a lot of stuff that, you know, nobody may ever hear, and that's fine. I'm fine with that, you know. But I mean, it's something that I feel like once I just get it down on a piece of paper and it feels right to me and it makes sense, and once I get it recorded, I can just push that aside and go, all right, you know, take the next step.
That makes perfect sense.
Again.
Yeah. Well, I want to get back to influences a little bit too. You know, it would have been fun to ask you when you were most notable for hot water music, you know, what you were listening to and what were influences that you may not hear in the music you're playing, because things that are making what your solo project might have come out then. But I'm kind of curious at this point, you know, who drives your music passion you may not hear as an influence in the music you're playing?
I mean, like, to me, in all honesty, like, the biggest drives that we get, or from music, from people, are the people that you're going to see us on tour with. Because, I mean, I listen to a lot of old stuff, I listen to a lot of old classic, you know, country, a lot of standard stuff, a lot of bluegrass, a lot of Cuban music, a lot of rock and roll, punk rock. Like, I mean, it's so broad, you know. But what really drives us today are meeting, you know, these people on the road, or, you know, kind of getting inspired by a musician and going, man, we should get them out with us, we should put them on the revival tour, we should do this or that, and then you get out with them, and not only, you know, I'm already sold as a fan, you know, I already love their music, and then when I get out with them and we're able to sit down and, you know, sit down and have a cup of coffee or have breakfast, or, you know, play a show, sit around and shoot the breeze, or, you know, have a drink here and there, and get to know them, you know, as a person, as a human being, aside from like this name or this face or this image that the rest of the world knows them as. I feel like that completely just ramps up like my whole respect for the music and what they do and what they're about, what they sing about, their ethics, what they stand for. It just completely amplifies it. And so, I mean, I find that, you know, in the past, you know, 6 years that we've been touring, you know, quite a bit on this stuff and collaborating. I mean, just getting to know these people that, you know, I've either heard about them through word of mouth, I've sought them out, or we've met through, you know, mutual friends or whatever, and, you know, found that I love their music, and then actually meeting them and getting to know them as folks, like, that's what drives me.
There's no substitute, and I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, because, and that's why I appreciate your time talking to us and talking to this camera right here. You know, is because, I mean, that's what we're trying to do too. And you know, when you're willing to sit down and do this with us, you know, we want to bring that extra element out to the fans who only know of the CD and, you know, your face on the stage and stuff. So.
Oh yeah. Hey, Mike. How you doing?
Good man right here. Good man.
So with that, I just want to say thank you for doing it, man. And it was a privilege talking to you, and we're looking forward to the show tonight.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Chuck.
Thank you very much.
We will dance away, you know, somewhere high up in the snow, after the rain is grown.